You are listening to The Objective Jerk, and I am said jerk. What's up? How's everybody doing? Oh, you know what? Did I? Oh, I did. Okay. Gotta make sure I was recording on the video. So what's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well. I recently celebrated my 20th anniversary with my wife, and we basically, what's it called? I mean, it was like we got married again, basically, but it was in the church. So we just wanted renew our vows, basically, but have it blessed through the church, which is not something they really do. So basically, we had a wedding. We just didn't go all out, but they had the service, and then we also had my two youngest have their first communion and stuff. So it was cool. It was nice. We were kind of expecting it to be just kind of quick and easy, like a quick little, thing from the priest and blessing this and that. But we had to get a big veil. My wife had to have a veil, like all the things that you do for a Catholic wedding, we had to still do. So, which, at first we were like, come on, we just want to keep it simple. But but that is the point. And so at first it was kind of annoying, I guess, but at the same time it was nice, it's what we wanted. So, so that was cool. And yeah, that's kind of, yeah, so 20 years. Can't believe it's been 20 years already, man. Time goes by fast. Time goes by so fast. Anyway. So apparently, California gave out 60,000 CDL commercial driver's licenses to illegal immigrants. Now, some of those illegals were here on a work visa, or they had a work visa. How do you get a work visa and you're an illegal? I don't know. Maybe they came over on a work visa and then they stayed too long. I don't know. But it's crazy, There's reports on how they were cheating. They would wear a little I don't know, like a bra almost, right? That would hold an iPhone or a phone. And then they'd have a hole in their shirt. And then they'd have an earpiece or whatever, Bluetooth. And they were FaceTiming with somebody, and they could see what the questions were. And they'd tell them, oh, that's CD, whatever, blah, 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 right? Like, they got proof of it. They've gotten busted people with that stuff. So there's that. And then there's probably people that just letting them get it, because they get paid. Hey, just let them pass. And then, yeah, so you have all these individuals, illegals, and a lot of these driver's licenses say no name given, like they don't give their name. It's like, how do you not give your name? You should, if you're getting a CDL, you got to have your name, but like there's so much deception and corruption, all the shuns going on. It's like insane. And they sit there and be like, well, the immigrants come over and they work the jobs that Americans don't. Americans want to work truck driving, and, that's a good job, man. Not everybody can do it. It's all in the mind, really. It's if you can, because, some people just can't drive. So if you're able to drive, but then just being on the road and stuff, it takes this, kind of mindset, I guess. And then you're on the road constantly with idiots and everything. So not anybody can do it, but when 60,000 of them are illegal immigrants. That's taking jobs from Americans. Now are all the and then that's just California. Think of all the other sanctuary states and probably some non-sanctuary states, really. So the roads, the highways, the interstates are flooded with these illegal immigrants that can't read, can barely speak English, can't drive for shit, and they're just wreaking havoc on the roads. Now, you know, again, when 9/11 happened and, we had Islamic terrorists, so then, everybody, people that were Muslim living in the States for years, were basically Americans. They were getting shit on afterward. It's not right, but it does happen. And there are some of these drivers are probably actually good drivers. A lot of them are from India for some reason, which, by the way, their average IQ is 70 something or 60 something. Like, they have a really low average IQ. Not saying, oh, but there's so many Indian doctors. Like, well, yeah, they're not all. Average doesn't mean all, okay? But average, they have a low IQ. That's why, they're always involved with the scamming and crap. I hate scammers, dude. Anyway, I'm going to get off track. No one. Bird, squirrel. But yeah, so I mean, it's kind of ridiculous, right? So people need to be held accountable for this because there are people being killed left and right, man. But I'm going to get to that in a second. So there's, just like anything else, there's proper ways to do it. So I have a friend who was born in Iraq. I mean, I say friend, I guess that's kind of a stretch. He was an interpreter for my platoon when I was in Iraq. Good guy, smart guy. And I haven't seen him in 20 something years. You know what I mean? Or 20 something, 20. Yeah. Anyway, we keep in touch on Facebook periodically. It's not like every day we talk or anything like that. And I'm always wanting to interview him for the podcast. I just would like to tell some stories that we have, and I think it'd be kind of interesting. For me, I would just like to do it, and then I think it'd be kind of interesting to, hear the sides, and I don't know. Let me know if you think. But I don't know. I have a hard time putting any kind of more effort and money into having actual guests. I've thought about it a bunch of times. I don't know. I haven't. I'm lazy. Maybe once if this gets up a little more, there's more subscribers and stuff like that, and I start getting more of an audience. I think I've said this before, maybe, but I don't know. Then people will be mad because I ruin my shtick, whatever. Anyway, so this guy, like I said, he was an interpreter. Okay, he risked his life to help us. Being an interpreter in Iraq was no joke. His family, if people found out where you lived and you were an interpreter and stuff like that, somebody could have went and retaliated and either killed you or your family. You know what I mean? So it wasn't easy. And I believe he was able to actually join the military. And then he got his citizenship and worked his way to live in the States. So now he's been living in the States for a while now. And he was, or is, a semi-truck driver. That's his job, right? He got injured, so he didn't get to work for a while. But man, I would like to kind of know his point of it. But he's a smart guy. He can speak English probably better than me. But better than I. See, but you know what I mean. Like he had to work for it, and then you have all these individuals that are just getting these free tickets, and here's all the answers. Here's all this, and 60,000 just in California. Come on now. Like, that's insane. So apparently this has been going on for years, right? And now you have people, these illegal Indian, or what are they called? Sherpa? Is that the right one? Not Sherpa. Those are the guys that do that, help with the Antarctica, or not Antarctica, but the climbing the the mountain. What's the big mountain? The biggest mountain. What is it? Mount Everest. There we go. So Sherpa, that's what those are. Anyway, so there are some other religious nationality, brown folks, whatever. But they're driving the wrong side of the road on the interstate, because there's like construction or something, and some guy not understanding which way he was supposed to go because they blocked up or whatever, and then he ended up being on the wrong side of the interstate, driving the wrong way. You had the guy in Florida who got his CDL in California, did that U-turn where he's not supposed to do it, killed a van full of people, and there's another one where a guy ran through some construction area. Like, they're just the most worst drivers. And then if you get on I don't know, I don't think it's TikTok. I don't want to get on TikTok very often. I think it's on Instagram or something. But there's this account where it's like it takes videos of people who are witnessing the retardation of these people, and it's showing them like with tires gone, their truck's on fire, the truck's sideways, the truck is driving without them because they're in the gas station. They didn't, and they come running out to try and stop their truck. All this like ridiculous, asinine, low IQ things, and then they'll add the little clip from Team America whenever they had the terrorists speaking their language. They weren't actually speaking Arabic or whatever. They were all Durka Durka, Muhammad Jihad, or Muhammad Jihad, Durka Durka. That was like how they spoke. So it plays that over it. It's kind of messed up, but it's funny too. But yeah, dude, it is insane. So we have these individuals who are like obviously, objectively bad drivers for the most part, and they're driving these. How much, dude? Trucks weigh like 80,000 pounds or something. An average semi truck loaded, but then you got trucks with fuel and various things. They're driving down the interstate. This is insane. Yeah, so about 80,000. 80,000 pounds. And this is all just from California. So, I mean, at least word's getting out. People are learning, or I don't know. So I'm sure the scam is pretty much done now. But this is the kind of crap that, lefties and Democrats are pushing for. They want to get all these people in here to help vote. So that's the only way, dude. I'm like 99.9999999% sure that if they can make voting completely fair and legal and no cheating, so no you have to come in person. You have to show ID to vote. If they do that, Democrats will never win ever again. And I'm pretty sure that individuals like Pelosi, these senators who have been in office longer than most monarchies, when they're like, no kings, it's like, how long you been in the Senate? Yeah, shut the hell up. I am pretty sure that they have lost multiple times in their races, but they're able to finagle their way in. Because, yes, are there stupid, retarded Americans? Yes. But there's not that many. There's no way that these individuals who just destroy their cities and their states keep winning. There's no way. So, yeah, voter ID in person, got to happen. And when it does, Democrats will never win ever again. At least not in the platform that they're pushing now. So I watched another video on this, on the quartering, regarding the semi-truck drivers and stuff. And I was reading some of the comments, so I wanted to read some of these. So this person here commenting on, what I'm talking about. The public has no idea how bad this is. I have been working truck gates and security for 20 years. In the last 5 years, the number of Indian drivers has skyrocketed. They are the worst to deal with. I've dealt with drivers that can only go forward. They don't even know how to back into a loading dock. They will get out of the truck with it running in gear, which there's videos of it. I've seen it all. There is absolute fraud going on with the licensure of these people. And then somebody's like, yeah, it's all by design. It's all by design. Yeah. So here we go. What really pisses me off is I'm a trucker. They charged me $6,000 in 6 weeks of my life where I had to literally not work and go to a class for 8 hours a day to drive my own truck. These people are coming in paying most likely a quarter of that, taking all the jobs and destroying not only the industry but the rest stops, the road safety, and now they are destroying people's lives. Get them the F out of the country now. I'm not even nice anymore. They smile and wave and I tell them to leave. They are the worst drivers on the road. So that's a truck driver, right? So this is, here's another one. As a truck driver right now, this issue is way worse than you can begin to imagine. So I'm imagining from what I've said and what I've seen, it's pretty bad. So if that's not even close, then holy crap, right? And it's not just illegal truck drivers. It's also legal foreign truck drivers that do stupid stuff and get people killed. Yeah, and it just never makes the news. But it's going to start making the news now. More and more things are going on, so it's going to be in the news. So this is kind of the news talking points that are going on right now. And you notice it's like always from both sides, right? Like you'll have something from the right that they're focusing on and putting in the news and everybody's, talking about it. And then you have something that on the left to try and combat it or whatever. So this is what's going on right now from the right. We're talking about these issues. And on the left, the truck drivers killing people, all this stuff, illegals. And then on the right, what are they talking about? They're remodeling the White House. How dare he? What? It's like, oh my gosh. Like you can't make, it's like, you can't make this stuff up. It's just so ridiculous. The No Kings was a flop. Nobody, it was a bunch of old people. Nobody was there. Nobody cares. Nobody even knew why they were there. And it's a stupid thing anyway. No Kings, what are you talking about? Now, like, if Trump was like, hey, I'm going to run again, and he's president for a third term, then, okay, I get it. But, oh my gosh, these people are stupid. Let's see. Here's another truck driver here. This has been an issue we have been screaming about for a long time. Very few of them speak English, let alone can read English. It's very common on two-way highways to get ran off the road because one of them decides to pass someone. They tend to treat women very badly. Well, we know that because we see when foreign women go over to like India, they get their boobs grabbed and all kinds of crap and kissed. Like they're like animals, man. Like seriously. It's hard to judge and say something about a country you've never been to. But I don't know. I'm never going to go there, that's for sure. It just looks gross. Hygiene is insanely bad, and their trucks are at hazmat level disaster. Now, to be fair, I've known some normal old white folk that are pretty nasty too. We've had to inspect working at government installations and stuff, and working the gate. Had to inspect trucks, and yeah, there was one guy who made regular trips, and holy crap, his truck was disgusting. But yeah, I can imagine, It's not uncommon for drivers from some countries to cut holes in the floorboards of the truck so they don't have to stop at rest stops. What does that do? Make it lighter? I'll let the reader imagine why. Well, yeah, we know why, kind of, right? Somehow they may make it past way stations and ports of entry without getting put out of service. The list goes on and has been that way for decades. Also, businesses get kickbacks from the state and federal government for bringing in drivers from other countries. Huh? They're stealing. Well, there's not jobs that Americans want to do. See, all the crap, all the talking points and stuff is just BS made. Trying to destroy the country. It's all part of the agenda, like the one guy said. Here we go. Here's another one. It's not that Americans won't do these jobs that Americans don't want to do. It's the companies don't want to pay the wages that would entice Americans. Yeah, these immigrants undercut the American, driving down the price of labor and putting Americans into squalor. So yeah, so these idiot retards who are like, oh well, Americans don't want to clean toilets and pick fruit. It's like, well, it's not just those jobs, you moron. And you know what's lame or sad or infuriating or all the above is when you take these arguments to some of these people, they just brush it off or just don't believe you. I don't know. It's crazy. Let's see. I just want to read a couple of these, especially people who are like experienced in dealing with this stuff. I'm a diesel technician in California. Sorry, bro. And you wouldn't believe how far the quality of drivers has fallen. Oh, I believe it. I've been doing this for 20 years, and it's never been this bad. I've been a trucker for almost 4 years and a mentor for 2.5. My first student I got was a dude from Pakistan that barely spoke any English. He was the most dangerous person I've ever seen operate a commercial vehicle. Needless to say, I had him terminated due to the lack of English proficiency and an extreme safety hazard on the road. I am probably one of the toughest mentors in my company. When he's talking about like he's a trainer, on the job trainer guy. I fail 80% of my students due to unsafe driving. This is not without trying. I give them about 3 weeks until I'm convinced they are unsafe drivers. I also can tell you all how many times I've caught these types of dudes washing their feet in the sink at truck stops. Well, I mean, they gotta wash their feet, right? But okay, so these people that he sends packing, they goes to someone else who passes them, We need ice at every way station. Yes, that's true. But I mean, according to that one comment, that it's not gonna matter though, right? Because they cut holes. Friendly reminder that in India, something Like one person dies on the road every 3 minutes. Yeah, I mean it's living here in the Philippines. They are, for those that don't know, the Philippines are horrible drivers as well. But I don't know. Like um, I've seen mutilated bodies on the road here from getting hit. And just within 5 years, less than that, and then growing up in the States, I never saw. I mean, was there a dead person in a car in an accident when on the freeway when you're driving by? Maybe, but it's just there's people getting just messed up, and a lot of it though is people drive drunk here and they get away with it. That's kind of one of the problems. But anyway, mm-hmm. uh, yeah, that guy's saying the same thing. Yeah, Newsom, dude, it should go all the way up because Newsom's in charge, and it happened under all the governors of all those states that let this crap happen. They need to, at the very least, lose their job and never run in politics again. If and they think that, dude, if the Democrat Party puts Newsom as the runner for the Democrat presidential, or for the presidential election in 2028, right? Yeah, 2028. There is most definitely gonna be. They have a way to cheat. There's some kind of scheme that they got cooked up that they're gonna do because nobody in his own state likes him. So there's no way he would win. I mean, he's the same. He's like Harris, but he's more. He's got the Obama, used car salesman kind of whatever. But he has been caught in so many lies and everything, and just the crap his state has gone through, dude. All right, I'm just trying to see if there's any. All right. Knew a guy that failed his CDL 13 times in a row. Less than 6 months after he got his license, he took his rig airborne, load and all, and managed to ramp the dividing ditch and remove a beautiful Mustang off a flatbed without damaging anything else except the car and his own truck. That's some big air for a heavy load. Well, at least it was only a Mustang that got taken out. Dude, right now, stuff's going on. People are dying, man. People are dying. All thanks to Democrats. All right. Well, that's it. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate your time. Leave a like in the something and the comment and subscribe. But yeah. I don't know. Be careful out there. All right. Thanks for hanging out. I'll talk to you later and God bless. All right. Bye.